Coming home should always be a joy, safety, security. But it isn't always so, not when you're coming back to Mosul.
There are no basic services in the city, no jobs. It's terrible.
We returned to our homes a year and a half after the liberation, but there is no life here. There are no decent streets. We suffer from power and water shortage. It feels so pathetic.
We are here battling all the hardships. We now regret that we ever came back.
It was one of the biggest, deadliest battles in the world in decades. In the name of freedom, they turned West Mosul into this. A city of millions reduced to ash and rubble in an act they called liberation. I was there 2 years ago. I saw, tasted and smelled the city being freed.
That's an Iraqi helicopter. This is what the aftermath of a classic airstrike in Mosul looked like. It doesn't matter where you go. It all looks virtually the same. Crumbled buildings, debris, airstrike craters.
2 years and nothing's changed. West Mosul is still a wreck, a city of the dead.
You can't even imagine how difficult it is. No hospital, no schools, no teachers. We are like the living dead. We have a cemetery over there, but here it's a cemetery for the living.
Desperate children, orphans, are clearing rubble in the absence of builders and construction crews. They are what you call rescue crews, the first to stumble on and die from booby traps, unexploded US coalition bombs. They are the first to reach the corpses under the rubble, now estimated to be in the tens of thousands. Bodies left rotting for 2 years.
Potholes are everywhere. There are still corpses everywhere. And if anyone brings humanitarian aid in, the local officials just steal it. They are all corrupt.
Corruption has its tentacles everywhere. Millions of dollars intended for reconstruction apparently siphoned off, stolen. The US-led coalition, which spent billions bombing Mosul, doesn't seem to have the cash or will to rebuild it. The only thing that's being rebuilt, say locals, are the bank accounts of crooked officials.
There's no reconstruction here. All their reconstruction efforts are just ink on paper.
Potholes everywhere, streets filled with rubble and rubbish. It's misery here. I swear to God there are no clean officials here.
As the fight against ISIL militants in Iraq intensified, some foreign children ended up trapped in the embattled country, and now they are returning home. A group of Russian children who spent time in a Baghdad prison with their mothers have now been brought back to Moscow. This video here from the Russian Emergencies Ministry shows them arriving at a Moscow airport. There are 27 children in total, aged between 4 and 13. The exact details of how they ended up in Iraq are unclear, but it's believed that many of them were brought by their radicalized parents. Now, all of them, though, are now being resettled in the homes of relatives.